everyone, I'm Tom Vasel and welcome to Look Back. This is a video series where we go back a year, 5 years, and 10 years ago, and I tell you what I think about the reviews that I did then. So we'll start with a year ago. First we have Coaster Park. Now this is an interesting one because I was so excited about a game where you actually rolled marbles down roller coasters. The thing is, the game is okay. And that's why it has the rating it has. At the time, that got a Dice Tower seal of approval. Now we've changed it. It just is okay. The marbles don't roll down as well as I'd like them to. The whole game was disappointing. I was hoping it would be like a 10. So this is actually not a negative review because the game's okay. But that's about the best I can give it. Then we have Taupe Topiary. This is a kind of a meeple placement. You're trying to control, trying to pick up different, shaved bushes and things like that. It's a nice little game. Let's see here. Christmas Tree. This is one I liked a lot. In fact, there's a second edition of this out now, which I'll probably get around to reviewing at some point, where you're putting down ornaments in a tree. I thought it was a nice thematic game. It's a lot of fun. Fast Forward Fortress. This is probably my second favorite of the Fast Forward games. And this is a very interactive one where you're trying to attack each other and take fortresses, and you learn the rest of the rules as you go on. Dragon Castle, this game from Horrible Games with Mahjong style tiles. Really heavy game, and I mean physically heavy, with great beautiful chunky tiles and some decisions as to how you place them. It's a really excellent game. And Manhattan. Now I reviewed the new version of it with neon colors. Manhattan has always been one of my favorite tower building games as you actually physically build skyscrapers on the board. Very much recommend it. And Charterstone, and I already mentioned this in a previous look back, but we did our final review of Charterstone. I really liked Charterstone, but I like it much better now, especially considering the ending. I have a custom version of it, which, by the way, I'm always asked about. Where, can you see my map? If you look up my version of the review of the Charterstone Recharge Pack, you can see that custom map, and it's really fun. All right, 5 years ago, I took a look at Space Sheep. Yeah, Space Sheep has nice big pieces, but it's a real-time cooperative puzzle. I just don't get that. It's not any kind of genre that anyone really enjoyed, as you're all thinking hard together. Basically, it's like solving a Rubik's Cube by committee. That's not very fun for me. Sloop, this is a trick-taking style game, but there's a few too many rules in it, and it just, I don't know, it didn't flow very smoothly. ChooseOne. This is basically you're asked a question, everyone's guessing as to which one you're going to take. I felt like the rules in this one were a little wonky because you had to come to an agreement on it. Z likes it. I'm not a fan of it. The Witches. This game from Martin Wallace is, okay, you're witches and you're going around and solving, problems that people have, whether helping out with pregnancies or what have you. It's a very mild, light family game, and it's okay. Eggs of Ostrich. No need to really look up this one. This is a very weird esoteric game in which you're playing cards at the same time and you're trying to match but not match other people to collect these eggs. It's a very weird little game, and I don't think it was ever reprinted actually. Let's see here. Euphoria. Now this one's dropped slightly for me. I get Euphoria, and I know a lot of people like it as Jamie Stegmaier's best game. I like all his other games better than this one, but this one is not bad. It's, a dice placement game. Maybe there's a few too many rules to keep me from thinking it's amazing, but it's still a neat game. Shiteno, this is a card-laying game where you're just trying to control different areas on the board. Probably could have nicer components, but for what it is, a good game. Let's see here. Glastonbury. This is a wizard game where you're moving these wizards around, trying to get cards in the middle. A solid game. It looks a little generic. It probably is generic, but the idea of moving the guys around and collecting cards is unique, and I don't know that I've seen that in other games. Let's see. Carnival Zombie. Now, this is a really big game. We did a Miami Dice on this one, and I dropped it slightly, dinged it, but I liked it. I'm not a big fan of zombie games, but this is more tower defense. As you're sitting in the middle of the board, waves of zombies are coming at you, and you have all kinds of cool machinery and guns and things, and you're fighting back against them. These waves come in, then you move to the next location, and you're assaulted again. There's some pretty neat concepts. There's even a tiny dexterity thing in the game, which I thought was a lot of fun. And then finally, Caverna. What an amazing game. What can I say? Really like this one. Basically, It killed Agricola for me. One of my favorite games of all times. I like just gathering amounts of resources, building a farm, sending dwarfs out in quests. Just a great game all around. All right, 10 years ago. First we have Dynamo Ori, or however you pronounce this. Ugly green abstract dexterity game. Just a mess. No good at all. Kuwato. This is kind of like, you know, where you draw the boxes to close things, except this uses sticks and discs. Big deal. I can use a piece of paper for this. Peace Pack. Now this one I differ from a lot of people on. I've never been a big fan of the Peace Pack series. Still am not. I think the idea is interesting, where you have a bunch of components that you can then have a gazillion games about. It's just that I never played any of these games that I felt were very exciting, and none of them really match the components that well. Arthur Saves the Planet. I like Arthur, the books about Arthur. This one, though, is just so unbalanced, and I think kids aren't going to like it because they need to get a certain color, and they don't have that color, and it could be frustrating, and I don't think that's a good thing for a kid's game. Clue, Discover the Secrets. A slight upgrade on Clue, but not enough to make me like it. Electronic Guess Who. This actually is an upgrade on Guess Who. Just a little bit of electronic, a little bit back and forth, some little variations on it. Still not fantastic, but better. Let's see here. We have Dos de Mayo. Wow, it's 10 years old now. This two-player asymmetrical game about this revolt that took place, and one person's going to be vastly overwhelmed by other people. Really great historical background to this. This one's a hard one to find, but if you ever find it, it's a really short little game, but some really interesting things that go on in it. And Cosmic Keepaway. Me and Holly took a look at this one when she was, well, 10 years younger than she is now. It's essentially this disc that you throw, but you have these bands, and it will basically keep track of who catches it. It's a toy, but it was fun. All right, those are the reviews that I took a look at 1, 5, and 10 years ago. Until next time, I'm Tom Vasel, and this has been Look Back on the Dice Tower.